Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here, and let's jump right into it. I know we don't need another video on the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock situation, but here we are. I haven't really watched award shows in a really long time because I've come to the place where I don't feel like I need to sit through the whole thing. They're too long, they're kind of boring, and you just want to get to the good parts. Who won, who wore what, right? And so, oh, by the way, I am using the Blue Magic as usual. I've been using this lately to, I am taking down my braid out. This time I didn't do a wash and go. This time, Sunday, I started doing my hair too late. And so when it's like that, I just do a braid out or a twist out. So, like I said, I don't usually watch award shows lately, but I was on Twitter and I was seeing all these people posting the slap. And when I'm looking at the slap, it looks so fake. I still can't see the moment where Will's hand makes contact with Chris's body. I just don't see it. It just seems like one of these, over-exaggerated, acted slaps, these soap opera, these telenovela slaps that are clearly fake. And so I was one of the many people who thought at first that this was fake. But then when you see the uncensored footage from other countries, which is so interesting that the incident happened here, but here we were the last to know that it was a real thing because we got the censored version on TV. But when we found out through the shouting and the cursing that this was an actual incident, I have to tell you guys, I am still very perplexed. I don't know why this happened. First of all, the joke wasn't even offensive. I'm somebody who used to really enjoy Chris Rock's comedy specials. I thought he was hilarious. I thought he was so clever. And in my humble opinion, I don't think Chris has been funny the last 15 years or so. His comedy has gotten more and more juvenile and corny and just really childish. And the joke, the G.I. Jane bit was so non-funny. It was just something a 12-year-old would say in his, in his act. And so I think we can all conclude that this had nothing to do with Chris or that joke. This is clearly something that Will has been harboring for a while. And, people have been dragging Jada ever since the whole entanglement thing came out. And Will has been silent. He hasn't come out. He hasn't defended his wife. The few times, especially in the last interview he did with Gayle King, where he set the record straight and he said there was no infidelity. We have open communication. We tell each other everything. But he really hasn't stepped up and said to the trolls, to the blogs that have been, just dragging this situation unnecessarily. He hasn't stood up and said, hey, stop coming for my wife. We've both stepped out of the marriage with each other's consent. We have an open marriage. We're allowed to explore. I have explored multiple situations. I've been in many entanglements. And why is my wife getting all the attacks? Stop it. I think that is what he has failed to do. He should have done this a year ago or more. But he has, taken the high road, I guess. And I think it came to a head at the most inopportune time on a night that should have been all about a celebration that has been 30 years in the making. Will's fans have been waiting for this moment. We have been waiting for the moment where he would finally get his well-deserved Oscar. I don't know, and I don't think Will knows. Today's Tuesday. He issued the apology yesterday. And in this apology, he says that, a joke about Jada's medical condition, her alopecia, I guess it was too much for him. I don't buy that. This is not about alopecia. This is not about the G.I. Jane joke. Will is just going through, he's going through the guilt of knowing that his wife is being punished and insulted and dragged for something that he has done many times over. He just hasn't been caught. The women he has had dalliances with have kept their mouth shut. Unfortunately for Jada, what's his name? August Alsina couldn't keep his mouth shut. I guess he was that, hurt by the ending of their little entanglement that he just had to say something. And she's the one who has been bearing the brunt. And I think Will and the G.I. Jane joke had nothing to do with entanglements. The Regina Hall joke that she did earlier about Will being technically a single man and that Jada doesn't mind, that is more in alignment with what has been going on. And they both kind of laughed it off, but you could see on their faces that they have not enjoyed the jokes, even when Laverne Cox made that comment on the red carpet. And I'm assuming that you guys know what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, I'm not editing my videos because I'm having problems with my editing software. So I can't include clips here, but please, Google what I'm talking about. But most of you know what I'm talking about. When somebody is nominated for an Oscars, throughout award season, they have to go on a lot of interviews. And it seems like every time they get interviewed, that he got interviewed, somebody had to bring up something about Jada and the entanglement. And I feel that Sunday night, it just all came to a head. And it was the worst time that it could have come to a head. Will has been, for the last 30 or so years, walking that fine line of being a black man in Hollywood who doesn't want to appear as too threatening. He wants to be the safe black guy that is not going to scare anybody, that you can trust your children with listening to his raps. And he has really walked that line beautifully. And it allowed him to get to the point where today he is among the A-list of the A-list celebrities. This didn't happen by accident. He really was meticulous about his career, even the movie projects he would choose. He talked about many years ago, I think it was in an Oprah interview, he talked about how he and his business partners had arrived at the perfect formula for the summer blockbuster movie. What should a movie have to make it big and become a huge success? It has to have action, it has to have a hero, there has to be a little bit of romance. And they almost calculated, almost mathematically, and it worked. It worked. And he became Mr. Summer Blockbuster, not because he got lucky, not because of his charm. He was meticulous, he planned it, they executed the plan, and it worked exactly the way it was supposed to. I'm a very analytical person. I love a reliable formula, something that I can continue to rely on to get the desired results. And so I remember hearing him talk about it that way, and I got so excited, like, yes, there is a way to kind of hack life and get what you want. And he did it to perfection. And so for it to just come crumbling in such a public and unnecessary way is something that I think Will needs to take some time away from the spotlight. He and Jada and maybe the kids included, they need to kind of go away, get some professionals, get some counseling, really sit down and kind of break down what happened on Sunday, kind of, retrofit it, go back and see what was the trigger. What was the thing that built you up to this moment where everything just kind of fell apart? There has to be an explanation. It's not a joke. It's not about alopecia. There's something that needs to be dealt with, that he needs to really, work out, because he's at a junction right now in his career where he reached the pinnacle. He finally got the Oscar, but now things might be in jeopardy. Now, I was talking to my dad about this because my dad said, oh, he was like all of us, he was extremely disappointed. And he's saying, Will needs to really take a moment and realize that he put his career in jeopardy. And I said to my dad, you know what? Will is too big to fail at this point. He has reached the point in his career where he can afford to have situations like this happen, and they won't necessarily cause him his career. That's what I told him. I told my dad, and I truly believe that. But there is still, he has now kind of broken the veneer of perfection that he has been operated under for such a long time. And he needs to, whatever this is that is haunting him, he needs to get a hold of it and really work this out, because he cannot afford another misstep. And, he might be done. He might have to retire and, 20 years from now, get a Lifetime Achievement Award or something, because nobody's going to want to work with him. Nobody's going to want to invite him to events if he seems like this erratic person that cannot be trusted because he can't control his emotions. And again, that's just not Will. That's not the Will that we've known. The Will that we've known is a very disciplined man. And maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe in trying to appear like this, everything's fine, I'm a good guy, you can trust me, everything's gonna be okay. Maybe that suppression for all these years just has caused the tension to build up to this moment. I don't know, Will. I don't know, but you need to work on this. You need to take some time away. You need to really process your feelings, have some conversations. Should you and Jada still be married? I don't know if there's something going on there. I don't know. But just holding on to something for the sake of holding on, if it's going to manifest itself in self-destructive ways the way it has, maybe y'all can just be friends and call it a day and continue to be each other's support system, but maybe not be a couple anymore. I don't know. I hope not, because I love you guys together. But sometimes it's time to walk away. Sometimes it is. And so I'm going to finish this real quick. And I don't know. There's a lesson here for all of us. We need to look at our lives. We need to look at the things that we have been pushing away, suppressing, swallowing. I think it was it Oprah or Iyanla who said, feelings that are buried don't die, they just fester. And when something festers, it rots, it starts to smell, it sprouts other things. It's just, let me turn on this light because the sun is moving. There I am. It ends up causing more problems and more heartache than it could have if you had just dealt with it when it first happened. And we live in a society that tells us that feelings that are unpleasant must be put away, must be suppressed, because somehow, dealing with unpleasant feelings is going to kill us. No, it's not. If you're feeling a feeling, you already have the power to deal with the feeling. You just have to confront it. You have to look at it, feel it, experience it, and then put it in perspective. What does this mean? Are my feelings, am I over exaggerating, or am I over analyzing things? Let's break it down. Let's break this down piece by piece. Why is this bothering me? What thing that already exists within me that is bothering me is causing this situation to feel like it's worse than it is? Why am I don't know, why? Is it true? Are the things I'm telling myself, are they based on truth, or are they based on lies that I've been told or that I have been telling myself? Moments like these, instead of just being fodder for gossip and entertainment, oh, pull out the popcorn and let's talk about it, it should help us to look within and say, where could I end up in a similar situation if I don't deal with this? Another telemarketer. So yes, we should just take the time to look within when we hear about stories like these and see what ways we could be sabotaging ourselves. Will just sabotage the biggest night of his career. And that night will never be remembered as the night where Will won his first Oscar. No, this is going to be remembered as the night that Will Smith lost his mind. Sad, really, really sad. So let's take the time to think about ways in which we can deal with stuff that we have been suppressing so that we don't end up self-sabotaging ourselves. Okay, that's the video. I hope you got something from it. Thank you for watching me fluff my hair. And if you would like to see me talk about other things, about hair, about Invisalign, about fitness, and do commentary on different topics, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.